They're saying yes, ma'am. They're speaking proper English. These motherfuckers don't jaywalk. They've learned their fucking lesson. The only two, or the only one is Blueface. He come out, looked like he got tougher in jail. But he did tell us, I can't wait to get to jail, because he said he was waiting for the squabbles. So I'm guessing the squabbles went good. I mean, he got some, they were doing some, Doodle Bob must have caught him in jail. They were writing on his face and shit. But he's back out and he's ready to do, get more gangster. But we saw Max B, who looked like maybe Max B got the same energy, and I'll tell you why. Max B recently been doing some clubs. And at these club performances or hostings, they're extremely packed. Everybody wants to see, everybody got their little Coogee sweater out. Everybody's bringing it back to the late 2000s, pretty much when he was running New York. It's a lot, the old heads is activated. And while at a recent club event, he performed a couple of his songs. But the one that took social media by storm is a song called, what's it called? Grand something? But it's a song, regardless, it's a song that's dissing Jim Jones. Now, it was a song that he basically is pretending, or not pretending, because supposedly some people have all type of sides to the story. It's a song where he's telling Jim Jones, I fucked your bitch, okay? And I'm going to say it respectfully because that's Jim Jones, I believe is Jim Jones' wife or wife-to-be, his fiance. But some of you guys might know the song because it did go super viral just because he was like, yo, she touched it in Miami, okay? Now, let me see if I could get, here we go. I'll find it on Twitter. You can find the clips a little bit faster. So at one of his recent outings, Max B. Jim Jones. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I think the song's called Grand Crew or something. Hey. Oh. What? What? So, again, this was a big diss towards Jim Jones back in the day, and it was a claim that the whole New York was really fascinated by because Max B kind of created this narrative that him and Jim Jones aren't seen eye to eye because he fucked Jim Jones' wife, and he fucked her in Miami. She literally, he's saying in the song, she touched it in Miami. You get what I'm saying? And Max B's out of jail now, just did 16, 17 years, and one of the songs he's performing, or at least he performed at this venue, was Jimmy's Mad because she touched it in Miami. Tay, thank you for the 10. It says, yo, YB had the slimes crying last night when this motherfucker dropped. What? Here we go. Damn, I forgot how the lyrics go. Grand Crew, Max B lyrics. Let's see how I go. They only recorded that part. Wait. This is the song, right? Grand Crew. Oh, right here. No, it's We Sip Grand Crew. Okay. Max B is legendary because this nigga used to just have kind of when you think about it in isolation, it sounds a little sus. Ow! Like a grown man saying, ow! Sounds a little bit gay, but it's the wave god, man. It was Max Bigavell. So We Sip Grand Crew, ow! It's I got these Bird Gang bitches, they can't stand me. Jimmy mad that Chrissy touched it in Miami. Holy. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've heard that Jim Jones crashes out over anything where people are talking about his chick. So, wait, is my camera lagging? Y'all got to let me know. My camera looks like it's lagging on my end. I don't know. Hold on now. Don't let me have to switch back to 1080p. I still got my DSLR cameras right here. Anyway, okay. So those were the lyrics. This song came out like, what is it, 2008? And in 2008, Grant's called me. This shit must be lagging. So he performs this song, and the whole New York is up in arms because they're like, damn, why has Max B came back home on the same type of timing that he kind of went in with, right? And essentially, I did get I got an exclusive, which was like, I guess, a recording of Max talking about this. And the recording basically explains why Max is performing in 2025 a diss song to Jim Jones that was dropped in 2008. Okay? 2008 is how long ago? Is that 17 years ago? So this is what the explanation was. Actually, I put it on Twitter. I like to play it on Twitter. Chat, keep monitoring if my camera is lagging. If my camera keeps lagging, I could do a few things to try to fix it. Here we go.
Yo, what's good? Yo, what's goody, bro?
What's good, Black?
What's the fuck is going on, B?
Fuck is the vibe.
Nah, shit, I ain't on nothing, chilling with the motherfucking what the fuck, some shit last night in Jersey and some other shit. What's going on, B?
What's going on with Max, man? Like, that situation was nasty. If I've been trying to reach out, nephew called me earlier. I've been trying to reach you. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, matter of fact, he hold on, he right here. He right here. Biggie.
What's up, beloved?
What's up, beloved?
What's going on, man? Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I'm just trying to get situated. How the brother, man?
What's going on, Max? We don't need this.
Nah, I ain't, look, yeah, that ain't me. Listen, that shit wasn't me. When we went up in there, when I went in the club, bro, I had two whole other records that wasn't even in that chapter when I was on with that regime. The nigga Flex said he don't got no records. He only got Pen and Tail. I said, all right, he gonna do. We only was doing like one maybe two songs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The nigga did 2 hooks of Pen and Tail, and then play the Grand Crew joint. So now I'm just saying what's up to the nigga, embracing the nigga. I'm like, I ain't know what was going on. I ain't even know the words to the shit. I was just improvising because I was performing for my crowd. They paid to see the Dawn, and I was giving them a show. It's the equivalent of this. You got a motherfucking 2 wrestlers, and some shit go wrong in the ring. Do this, and the cameras is rolling. Do they stop or do they keep wrestling? You gotta. So that's all that was.
Nah, though, Max, that one right there, that shit was supposed to be record scratch. Like,
I'm saying, I'm not the DJ. I'm not trying to diss, bro. And I'm gonna just keep a spade a spade. If I want to diss a nigga, I go in there and do something crispy. I'm not gonna spit that old shit. I ain't even know the words to that old shit, my nigga. My shit like that. I could go in the stew right now. Any 100 of them, I got access to.
Okay, by the way, I was muted. The point is this. I'm sorry for that. Jim Jones, and I'm realizing everybody's hitting me. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Not Jim Jones. Max B explained why, and I love Flex, but it is kind of crazy that Max B, who is the highly anticipated New York artist that's returned to the scene, he's performing or he shows up to a club to host that you're at, and the only song or one of the only songs you got of him is a diss song to Jim Jones. Because Max B is basically coming out and saying, yo, I didn't go in there trying to perform a diss song to Jim Jones. I go in there, I'm trying to show some love. It's probably a hosting or a walkthrough. He's trying to get on the mic, do 1 or 2 songs. And he asks the DJ, which is Funk Flex, yo, what song you got? Funk Flex says, yo, I got that Pin the Tail, and I got that other song, and the song happens to be the diss song to Jim Jones. Because he's trying to do it for his fans. He says he performs it, but he's not standing on it saying, no, it's fuck that nigga, right? I'll go back a little bit because it looked like a guy calls the phone of somebody that's close to Max, and then Max hops on the line. Here we go.
Even in
Here we go.
beloved.
What's up, beloved?
What's going on, man? Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I'm just trying to get situated. How the brother, man?
What's going on, Max? We don't need this.
Nah, I ain't, look, yeah, that ain't me. Listen, that shit wasn't me. When we went up in there, when I went in the club, bro, I had 2 whole other records that wasn't even in that chapter when I was on that, with that regime. The nigga Flex said he don't got no records. He only got Pen and Tail. I said, all right, we only was doing like one maybe 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The nigga did 2 hooks of Pen and Tail, and then played the Grand Crew joint. So now, I'm just saying what's up to the nigga, embracing the nigga. I'm like, I ain't know what was going on. I ain't even know the words to the shit. I was just improvising because I was performing for my crowd. They paid to see the Dawn, and I was giving them a show. It's the equivalent of this. You got a motherfucking 2 wrestlers, and some shit go wrong in the ring. Do this, and the cameras is rolling. Do they stop or do they keep wrestling? You gotta.
Right, nah.
So that's all that was.
Nah, though, Max, that one right there, that shit was supposed to be record scratch. Like,
I'm saying, I'm not the DJ. I'm not trying to diss, bro. And I'm gonna just keep a spade a spade. If I want to diss a nigga, I go in there and do something crispy. I'm not gonna spit that old shit. I ain't even know the words to that old shit, my nigga.
Right.
My shit like that. I could go in the stew right now. Any 100 of them I got access to, and lay some shit down for any nigga on the planet. But that ain't where I'm at.
So that was flex. That was flex.
Listen, that was all flex.
All right.
Don't shoot
Yo, did he just give a Flex?
the motherfucking messenger. Cause I don't play the record. The nigga told me he only had 1 record. The nigga played Pen and Tail, and then when I'm on the stage in my zone, performing for my crowd, what I got paid to do, this nigga plays the Grand Crew freestyle.
That's nasty. That's nasty, but I just want you
They kind of blamed it on Flex, like, yo, he played this song, I had to perform it.
I'm glad that you could let the world know this. And I just want to say this because I was trying to find Black. Because all the blame was going on Black. Like, yo, Black, how you let that go on? Like, how you even do sound tech let that go? But we know it's Flex. But listen, we happy you home, Max. Yo, listen, Harlem love you. Harlem love Jim. Harlem love Cam, Mace, Harlem World. Everybody.
I love niggas too. You heard?
Pause.
We don't need that, man. Yo, listen, we know everything that happened. That's 18 years ago. Y'all niggas was kids, damn near. We need y'all together, bro. If y'all can't, you know what I mean, put that difference to the side, but at least just keep it peaceful.
Let me tell you something. We all family, man. We all got wives. That shit was a different time. I'm not out here disrespecting nobody, lady. It was a different time. If somebody felt offended from the last night performance, to anybody who I've offended, my bad, I apologize. Sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. But it wasn't a diss for nobody. I was just improvising, just to keep y'all up to speed. All right? You already know the internet been going fucking crazy since I've been out trying to make some shit and what it ain't is. So that's just the enemy trying to tap in to the 5D cosmic layer and put some shit negative out there that niggas not even into. I'm running around here with my kids and I'm getting money.
Okay. So, you know, he kind of de-escalates it. And obviously, if you guys don't know the whole feud between Jim Jones and Max B, it kind of goes back and it's pretty deep. Max B was signed to Jim Jones at some point. Jim Jones, Max B feud. And I believe, I don't know how things even got that deep. Hold on. Let me watch this.
Jim Jones were 2 of the biggest rappers from Harlem to blow up in the rap game. But even though they started out cool, ego and jealousy turned them against each other. This is how they went from close homies to starting one of the wildest beefs in rap history.
Okay.
Max B.
All right, this will catch us up to speed real quick. And by the way, just for the updated version, again, the whole New York City's buzzing because they think it's a old beef getting reignited. Max B, we've gotten the audio exclusively and put it out. Max B is not trying to diss Jim Jones. He's not standing on that. He's not trying to beef with him. However, The context of why people are interested in this beef will be explained by this video, okay?
He and Jim Jones both grew up in Harlem, which was one of the most dangerous parts of New York at the time. Harlem in the late 80s and 90s was hit hard by the crack epidemic, but it also created tons of hip-hop legends like Big L and Dame Dash. Max B grew up in the Abraham Lincoln Projects in East Harlem. His mom was addicted to crack, and she even served 1.5 years in jail when Max was a kid. So Max was mostly raised by his grandparents in a religious household. Going to church inspired his love.
Okay, let's just skip past this. When did they meet each other?
So Cam linked up with Jim Jones to start Dipset. Dipset started making waves in the early 2000s after Cam signed a deal with Dame Dash and Jay-Z's group, Rockefeller Records. Over the next few years, Cam and the rest of the crew went on a major run. In 2002, Cam dropped his classic album, Come Home With Me. They followed that up with the first Dipset album, Diplomatic Immunity. Then Jim Jones dropped his first project called On My Way to Church. So by the time Max B got out in 2005, Dipset was on top of the world. Max wanted to switch up how he moved and focus on his rap career, so he started kicking it with Cam and the rest of Dipset. Max started doing features and ended up on 2 songs from Jim Jones' second project, Harlem, Diary of a Summer. The next year, Max also did the hook for the Cameron song, You Gotta Love It, which was a diss track about Jay-Z. The wild diss and Max's deep singing voice caught people's attention immediately, and suddenly everyone was talking about Max B. The same year, Max also dropped his first mixtape, $1 Million Baby. Around that time, Jim Jones also started his own label and spin-off group called Bird Gang. Jim Jones invited Max B to be a member, along with another Dipset affiliate named Stack Bundles. Max worked on Bird Gang's first mixtape, M.O.B., and also appeared on Jim Jones' next mixtape, The 7 Day Theory. Max B not only had the musical talent, but he also had the street cred after serving close to 8 years in prison.
Wait,
So it seemed like
Max B did 8 years in prison before he did 17? Wait, how old is Max B? How old is Max B? He's 47. He just did like 17 years, and he did 8 before. So 25 of his 47 years is in prison? That's crazy.
B was about to be the next Dipset member to blow up. But just when he was starting to gain momentum, Max caught another case that would eventually take him off the streets for good. On September 29, 2006, Max was arrested and charged with murder and conspiracy to commit robbery after police accused him of being the mastermind in a wild heist gone wrong. In 2005, Max met a woman named Gina Conway at a Jim Jones show in Myrtle Beach. Gina was a huge Dipset fan and wanted to get backstage to meet Joel's and Cameron. But when she found out they weren't there, Gina started kicking it with Max B instead. They ended up dating, and Gina moved in with Max in the Bronx, where she worked at a strip club while Max was grinding with his rap career. But the relationship was pretty toxic. Gina was a prostitute, and Max was hooking up with multiple women at the same time.
Shit.
They kept breaking up, and Gina eventually moved back down south, only for Max to convince her to come back to New York. One time, Gina came back and found Max living with another woman who was pregnant with his baby. Somehow, Gina ended up moving in with Max's brother, Mike, and went back to stripping. The whole story was pretty messed up, but things are about to get even crazier.
Wait, you think she went from letting Max fuck to letting Max's brother fuck? I ain't gonna lie, if my shorty moved in with my brother, it'd be like wild.
Gina was stripping in the club. She met a dude named Alan Jay Plowden. Jay would always pull up to the club in a brand new white Mercedes with tons of money in the back. One night, Jay started talking to Gina after Max blew her off, and they started hanging out. Jay would always take Gina on shopping sprees and spoil her with champagne and new clothes. Gina ended up going with Jay to a Holiday Inn where he was staying with his partner, David Taylor. It turns out that David Taylor and Jay Plowden were running a mortgage and mail fraud scheme, which is why they had so much cash. Gina Conway saw all the cash Jay had in his hotel room, so she stole his key card on the way out and decided to call.
Is she bad? She not bad, chat. It's like a mid. Actually, this is probably bad in 2006, right? 2008 or whatever. Yeah, this is probably bad. You know why? Chat, there's no lip fillers. That shit didn't exist then. No BBLs, no extra shit, no surgeries. Yeah. Nah, this ain't bad, chat. This ain't bad.
Max B to plan a robbery. According to Gina, she met up with Max back at the Lincoln Projects in Harlem. Max was mad that she'd been gone, so Gina decided to make him jealous by telling him all about Jay Plowden and all the money he had back at the hotel room. Jay told Gina he was going to the club, so she thought it would give her the perfect opportunity to rob the hotel room while he was gone. According to Gina, Max B called his cousin, Kelvin Leardham. Max told Gina that if she took Kelvin to the hotel room to take the money, he'd love her forever. So Gina and Kelvin went back to the Holiday Inn, but when they got there, they found Jay in the room with another woman named Giselle Neves. In another wild twist, Giselle Neves was also there to rob Jay Plowden. Giselle saw Jay in his new Mercedes and planned to go back to his hotel room to steal the keys. But before she had the chance, Gina and Kelvin burst into the room. Kelvin and Gina tied up Jay and Giselle and started trashing the room looking for the cash. They couldn't find enough money, so Gina demanded Jay call his partner David Taylor. David was sleeping on another floor and came down when Jay called him. As soon as David came into the room, Kelvin pointed a gun in his face and they started fighting. During the struggle, David ended up getting shot in the head and died. Gina and Kelvin got away with $30,000 in cash. But it didn't take long for the police to track them down and find out that Gina still had Jay Plowden's laptop. And
Oh, chat, I just figured it out. By the way, Grand Wizard, I figured it out. Yeah, I'm streaming 4K. And supposedly Twitch doesn't accept it, but also Kick. So that's why Kick is rejecting it. So as soon as Kick realized that my output is 4K, it's clipping it. Oh, okay. So I would have to, I think I would have to like change a setting on OBS to adjust to what Kick accepts. Yeah, I'm streaming too high quality. Holy, yo, the whole time I'm streaming low quality, everybody's rocking with it. Now I up the quality, they can't rock with it.
as soon as they arrested her, Gina started talking. She claimed Kelvin was the one who shot David Taylor and that Max B was the one who set it all up. Max was immediately arrested for murder and robbery charges and held on a $2 million bail, but Max couldn't afford to pay the bail, so he was forced to sit in jail. While he was behind bars, Max's music career continued to go up. Before he went in, he recorded a few tracks for Jim Jones' third album, Hustler's Poem, which dropped in November of '06. Along with his own features, Max also wrote a lot of Jim's verses and hooks, including the lead single, We Fly High. We Fly High ended up being Jim's biggest hit to date and made it to number 5 on the Billboard charts. But while Jim was living the life and enjoying the success, Max B was behind bars, fighting for his life. That's where the beef between Max B and Jim Jones really began. Max started doing interviews from jail where he dished Jim.
Okay, wait, the beef started before, didn't it? I thought the beef started before he went to jail.
Along with his own features, Max also wrote a lot of Jim's verses and hooks, including the lead single, We Fly High.
That's ballin'. Ballin'!
Fly High ended up being Jim's biggest hit to date and made it to number 5 on the Billboard charts. But while Jim was living the life and enjoying the success, Max B was behind bars, fighting for his life. That's where the beef between Max B and Jim Jones really began. Max started doing interviews from jail where he dished Jim for letting him sit in jail. Max claimed that he not only wrote We Fly High, but that he also wrote all of Jim's most popular songs since they first met. Max B also said that Jim Jones owed him credit for all his success, but wouldn't even help pay his bail. Jim later brushed it off in interviews and claimed that Max was over-exaggerating about how much he wrote. While he was locked up, Max B kept feeding the streets and dropped 2 more mixtapes, Public Domain, $1 Million Baby Radio, and Public Domain 2, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. A few months went by, and Max's bail ended up getting dropped to $90,000. That's when Jim Jones came to Max B and offered him a new record deal where Max can use the advance to pay his bail and get out. But the new deal was pretty bad for Max and required him to sign over all his publishing to Jim. Max didn't want to sign the deal, but he also didn't have much of a choice if he wanted to post bail. So Max took the deal and ended up getting out after spending 10 months locked up. But when Max B got out, his relationship with Jim didn't get any better. Max was still mad that he was forced into signing a bad deal just to get his freedom back and blamed Jim Jones for taking advantage of him when he was at his lowest point. Not only was he fighting for his life, but about a month before his release, Max B lost his close homie and fellow Bird Gang member, Stack Bundles. On June 11, 2007, Stack Bundles was shot and killed in the lobby of the Redfern houses and far up because of Max's affiliations with Jim Jones and the Bird Gang. According to French Montana, his problem started after Jim Jones lied about having them set up. In 2003, French Montana was leaving a recording studio when he got into a shootout that ended with him getting shot in the head. Montana later admitted that someone in his inner circle had set him up and Jim Jones had nothing to do with it.
The person that got me shot drove me to the hospital. So the greatest threat is always from the inside.
But French Montana claims that Jim started going around telling everyone he was involved in a situation just to help his street cred. Montana clapped back with footage of Jim and the rest of Dipset getting jumped in one of his Cocaine City DVDs. Then while Dipset was on tour with Bad Boy Records, Jim Jones got into an altercation with one of Biggie Small's homies, C Gutta. Jim and C Gutta kept running into each other and getting into small fights, but eventually it led to a massive brawl at Rucker Park in Harlem between Dipset and Junior Mafia. There was footage of Jim Jones and the rest of Dipset getting beat up and run out of Rucker Park. So French Montana used the footage in Cocaine City, Volume 4, to get back at.
The funny part is I think Jim Jones right now is cool with French Montana.
Jim, which is what first started their beef. When Max B officially left Bird Gang and linked up with French Montana.
Yo, French Montana's came a long way, man. French Montana used to look like a Down syndrome, just pudgy island boy back in the day. Like, now that nigga look fly and lit. You know what I mean? Yo, money could change a lot, bro. I kid you not.
They both started taking shots at Jim Jones together. Around the same time, Max B dropped a mixtape called Public Domain 3, where he dissed Jim Jones and the rest of Dipset. The cover showed Max B in a graveyard surrounded by tombstones that said, "Here lies Millie Jim Jones," and "Here lies Vanilli Joel Santana." Milli Vanilli was a pop group from the 90s who got exposed for lip-syncing other people's music. So Max was taking shots at Jim Jones and Joel's for stealing songs from him and other members of Bird Gang and trying to pretend like it was their own. There is also a song on the mixtape called Lip Sync, where Max B took shots at Jim and Joel's rapping, "I told them bitches, come and see me. They be acting like it ain't nothing. I know them niggas need me. I was giving them the loot, but them niggas done blew it." Max B and French Montana would also go back and forth with Jim in interviews and videos uploaded to Worldstar. But Jim wasn't the only target. Max also started going after Jim's wife, Chrissy Lampkin, and claimed that she gave him head by the pool in Miami.
What?
To add to the disrespect, Max even made a song called She Touched It in Miami, where he remixed the Jim Jones song, Summer with Miami, and brags about hooking up with his wife, rapping, "She sucked it in Miami, while Big Avell hit it from the back in her fanny. Gang Green family, riding on these bitch niggas. Empty up the clip, click clack, hit niggas. Gotti spit bricks, nigga. Peel uncut raw. Pussies talking reckless, but they don't really want a war. Nigga ain't worth my time, so I'm getting at your whore." Dipset affiliate Hell Rell also got dragged into the beat. Max B and French Montana made a video that got uploaded to Worldstar where they went in on Hell Rell for being ugly.
Shout to my mother, baby.
It feel good.
Nigga, the doctor smacked your mother when you was born. Nigga, you're so ugly.
What you talking about?
Hell Rail, a.k.a.
Oh, man,
Hell.
I gotta see this.
Hold on,
Oh, man.
A.k.a. Hell No. The bitches see you, they go, ooh, hell no, I'm not fucking with that ugly nigga.
Max even said if he had to choose between having Hell Rell's face and doing 50 years in jail, he'd take the 50 years. Hell Rell clapped back and said that he heard a rumor that Max B and French just got married and offered up $5,000 for the wedding pictures to see Max in the dress. So, at this point, the beef was deeper than just Jim Jones versus Max B, and half of New York was forced to pick sides. Pretty soon, it went from disses to actual violence. In a different video, Max claims that Jim spotted him in his whip and tried to box him. Jim Jones saw Max B in the parking lot and drove up next to him so he couldn't get out. Jim and his goons tried to attack him, but Max ended up ramming Jim's Bentley so he could get out, then punched Jim in the face. In the video, Max even showed off the dents in his car and pointed out where the fight happened. At one point, Max B and French Montana even went to confront Jim at a studio in Manhattan. They were rolling deep with a huge crew, but ended up getting stopped in the lobby. When they came out of the studio, Max B and French Montana claimed that Jim saw what was happening and called the police. Around the same time, Jim Jones and his crew also pulled up to one of Max B's shows in Brooklyn. A huge fight broke out, and Max started going wild and throwing chairs. Things got so crazy that the cops showed up with dogs. But by that point, Max and Jim were already long gone.
Damn.
So the beef kept heating up, and it seemed like only a matter of time before someone got seriously hurt or ended up dead. But before anything major went down, Max ended up losing his freedom. In 2008, Max signed a 3-album deal with an indie label called Amalgam Digital, but Max was still technically signed to Jim Jones, so he wasn't allowed to release any real albums. Max still kept it pushing and dropped mixtapes like Coke Wave and Quarantine. Max was also working on his first album or trying to get out of his contract with Jim. But in June 2009, Max was finally sentenced for the robbery and murder of David Taylor. Max B's ex-girlfriend, Gina Conway, had already pled guilty to armed robbery and manslaughter and agreed to testify against Max and Kelvin Lairdham. She blames it all on them and said Max had planned the whole thing and that Kelvin was the one who pulled the trigger and killed David Taylor. Max and Kelvin were both found guilty of 9 out of the 11 charges, including felony murder. So even though Max wasn't at the crime scene when the murder happened, Max felt
Okay, we kind of get the gist of it. Holy. Now, that's kind of crazy, huh? Yeah, both of them are like 50 though. Max B is 49. Jim Jones is Max B is 47. Jim Jones is 49. There's no way these guys could be like still trying to actively beef, right? Like, come on now, cut this out. Please cut it out. Anyway. All right. It has been at least, sidestepped for now. Max is not standing on the diss. He's basically saying, I don't have a problem with the nigga, and also if I was gonna diss him, I would just make a new diss song, not use an old one. So shout out to both brothers, and obviously, they too old to be having the newest beef in New York City. I'm gonna keep it a bean, all right? All right.